Giving obedience to God is the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. Thanking God for being God all by himself. Because without no him, there's no me. There's no thee, there's no them. There's no they, there's no us. No us, there's no nothing. Yeah, we had a good time last week. We went hollering at my boy Joshua. Yeah. Well, God told him, be strong and courageous. I hope as y'all went through this week that just passed, that y'all were strong and courageous. Yeah. Thanking God for being him all by himself. Work with me as I get to where I'm trying to go. This week we're gonna come from Genesis chapter 32. And I think I'm gonna start at verse 22. And it reads, during the night Jacob got up and took his 2 wives, his 2 servant wives, and his 11 sons, and crossed the Joppa River with them. After taking them to the other side, he sent over all his possessions. This left Jacob all alone in the camp, and a man came and wrestled with him until the dawn began to break. When the man saw that he would not win the match, he touched Jacob's hip and wrenched it out of its socket. Then the man said, let me go, for the dawn is breaking. But Jacob said, I will not let you go unless you bless me. What is your name? The man asked. He replied, Jacob. Your name will no longer be Jacob. The man told him, from now on, you will be called Israel, because you have fought with God and with men and have won. Please tell me your name, Jacob said. Why do you want to know my name? The man replied. Then he blessed Jacob there. Jacob named the place Peniel, which means the face of God. I have seen God face to face, yet my life has been spared. The sun was rising as Jacob left Peniel, and he was limping because of the injuries to his hips. Even to the day, the people of Israel don't eat tendon near the hip socket because of what happened that night when the man strained the tendon of Jacob's hip. May the Lord add a blessing to the reading of the word. Oh, I come to y'all, Lord, with thanksgiving, grace, love, joy, happiness, and peace in my heart. Thanking God for another day on the land of the living. Holy. Today was a river, but God always prevailed, just as he promised. Now, I told y'all, the Old Testament, that's my favorite book of the Bible. Yeah, the Old Testament. Father God ain't play. He was a fool, and he talked to whoever he chose at that time, personally. We don't talk to him personally, but we can feel him spiritually, personally. Don't ever get it twisted. But we're going to take a ride over here with Jacob. Jacob was a fool. I like Jacob. Jacob was just like the average person that's living in 2025. Everybody trying to get over. To me, Jacob was a master manipulator. Jacob had tricked his brother Esau out his birthright. Jacob had tricked his father out the blessing that was promised to Esau also. Jacob was a fool. The reason why I'm dwelling on that, because you got a lot of people in today's world that be saying, I'm not finna play with God. I know I ain't living right, so I ain't finna go and play like I wanna get right. That's an excuse to me. God wants you to come just as you are. So when he do a powerful renewal up in you, people of the world that knew you and they see the transformation, they gonna know for a fact you ain't did it yourself. It was only the true and living God. So all that, I don't want to play with God and I ain't living right and I got to get myself together before I go before God's throne. Save it. God wants you to come just as you are. The reason why I come over here to Genesis 32, messing around with Jacob, because like I say, Jacob was a fool. Anything Jacob wanted, Jacob was going to manipulate his way into getting it. Yeah. Jacob was so slick, Jacob could have sold water to a well. Yeah. Jacob was a fool. But Jacob had a calling on this life. See, when you got a calling on your life, I don't care how deep you entangled in sin. When God moved and God pick you and deliver you, there's no way you could run. Yeah. When God want to use you got to line up and do the will of God. Yeah, God is a fool. He give us free will. You got free will. You can choose and pick, See, when you're chosen, you can pick not to do what's right. He gonna whoop you down. He gonna whoop you down until you decide to do what's right. I'm gonna look at verse 22. It say, during the night, Jacob got up and took his 2 wives, his 2 servants, wives, and his 11 sons, and crossed the Joppa River with them. After taking them to the other side, he sent over all his possessions. Verse 24. This the one I want to look at. This left Jacob all alone in the camp, and a man came and wrestled with him until dawn began to break. I'm going to stop right there. Now, I told you, Jacob was a fool. Yeah, tell me, how many of y'all done been left alone? It say, verse 23, Genesis 32, after taking them to the other side, he sent over all his possessions. This left Jacob alone in the camp, and a man came and wrestled with him until the dawn began to break. Yeah. Yeah, Jacob was all alone. Yeah, I know about being all alone. I call it isolation. The wilderness. Yeah. See, when God got a call up on your life, he'll put you all alone. He'll put you by yourself where ain't no distractions. Yeah, he got to strip you down to the bare metal, especially when you're chosen. Jacob was all alone. And the words say, while he was all alone, a man came and wrestled with him until dawn began to break. Now the man, that's what they say, a man, but it was really the Spirit of God Jacob was wrestling with. We all wrestle with God day by day. Especially when you got a call up on your life. We wrestle sometimes because we want to do what we want to do. And God wrestle with us because we got a call up on our life. And he want us to get it right. Now, I told you, Jacob was a master manipulator. Jacob was a fool. Yeah, Jacob was a fool. Jacob had already ran game on his brother Esau, Esau come in hungry. He told him, if you send me your birthright, I'll feed you. Now, don't that sound like people that's living in today's time, 2025? Like I say, Jacob was a master manipulator. And the reason why I keep expressing it, because I want you to know, no matter how far you done went off the road, no matter how filthy you think you are with sin, when God put his hand on you and choose you, it's nothing you can do. He don't want nobody that ain't never went through nothing. The only way you can have a testimony, you gotta been and went through something. That's why he chose Jacob. Jacob was on his way headed back to his hometown. And he was resting before he went. And he sent over his whole family, all his possessions. And he was alone. Yeah. God will strip you down from everything when he trying to get your attention. No distractions. See, God, he's a mighty, mighty, mighty God. And when he got a call, an assignment on your life, he ain't gonna stop until you accept the call. You got free will. You can run, you can buck all you want, but he gonna whoop you down until you answer that phone. Yeah. The true and only living God. That's who I'm talking about. Yeah, Jacob was bad. Yeah, Jacob was used to wrestling with people and getting his way. He was used to getting over and having his way. To me, Jacob sounds like many of us today. When the man saw he would not win the match, he touched Jacob's hip and wrenched it out the socket. Yeah. Jacob was a fool. Jacob ain't come to play. Yeah. Hold on, Jacob. That means he broke Jacob's hip. See, sometimes God have to break you down. Yeah, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, financially. He got to break it down to get your attention. See, when things going right and everything fine and dandy, you don't need God. You don't even bother to call up on him. Yeah. He'll break it down and make you call on him. Ask Jacob. That's what he did when he broke Jacob's hip. But Jacob was so bold. Jacob was a fool. Jacob was used to getting over on people. Even after God broke Jacob's hip, then the man said, "Let me go, for the dawn is breaking." But Jacob said, "I will not let you go unless you bless me." I told you, Jacob was a fool. Jacob said, nah, I'd have been through all this. Me and you done wrestled all night. You got to bless me. Jacob, I told you, Jacob was a master manipulator. Jacob wasn't messing with it unless he was coming out on top. But watch how God bless him. This is what he said. "What is your name?" Then the man asked. He replied, "Jacob." "Your name will no longer be Jacob," the man told him. "From now on, you will be called Israel, because you have fought with God and with men and have won." Yeah. See, that's how it be when you're trying to get something. It could be you trying to obtain something wrong. You could be trying to obtain something right. You know, we don't stop until we get what we want. Now, God had just broke Jacob here, and Jacob still was wrestling. Jacob said, "I ain't gonna let you go until you're blessed." That's how you got to be with God, day in and day out. No matter what trials and tribulations come against you, no matter what battles you face, you got to hold on and don't let go until God bless you. You're going to go through some trials. You're going to go through some ups and downs. I promise you. You're going to go through some long suffering. But you can't let go. You got to hold on until God bless you. Jacob was a prime example. Jacob was a fool. See, Jacob was locked in. You know, Jacob was locked in. Jacob was going all or nothing. You wasn't gonna give Jacob halfway. Yeah, Jacob was a game runner. Jacob was a fool. You know, he said he wasn't gonna let go until God bless him. And watch what God did, because God did bless him. He replied, "Jacob, your name will no longer be Jacob." The man told him, "From now on, you will be called Israel, because you have fought with God and with men and have won." Now God blessed him, switched his name to Israel. That was a promise that God made to his daddy, Isaac, that his offspring would be numerous as the stars in the sky. Now, Jacob ain't know he was going to have to go through all that. Jacob ain't know he was going to have to go get a broke hip to be able to obtain that promise. That go for many of us. We look and see things of the world and we want to have them. But the word say, if you seek my kingdom first, all things will be added. But we want a microwave. We don't want to wrestle through the night. We don't want to get our hip broke. And when I say hip broke, we don't want to get broke all the way down to the bad metal. See, God can't bless you when he know you ain't right. He got to break you all the way down. He got to break your hip to get your attention so he can rebuild you. So when he do bless you and change your name, you do right by the blessing. Some of us, we pray to God and ask God to bless us, and when he do, we forget about it. Nah. See, when he blessed Jacob, Jacob could never forget about it, because Jacob had to walk with a limp for the rest of his life. See, how many of y'all willing to walk with that limp for the rest of y'all life? Not too many. Not too many. You get a little scratch up on your finger. You're ready to go to the hospital. How many of y'all willing to wrestle with the true and only living God all night? Not physically, but mentally. Ooh, that mental battle wrestle. Ooh, that's a fool. To be hearing God speak and to be hearing the enemy speak. Man, if you ain't strong and wrapped up and tangled up with God, it'll take you out of here. It'll take you out of here. Because you got to be able to pay attention, because the enemy is slick. He know how to betray God's word good. You got to remember. He was an angel that sat amongst God. So he know the word, just like you know the word too. You got to pay attention. You got to be alert. You got to be on watch at all times. You got to be on your game. Like the youngsters say, no lacking. That's what the youngsters say. No lacking. Yeah. Jacob was a fool. Jacob wasn't lacking. Jacob knew who he was in the midst of. The true and only living God. That's why Jacob ain't let him go until he told him, you got to bless me. How many of y'all willing to hold on to God unchanging hand until he bless you? See, the time we living in, they wanted instant gratification. It don't work like that. Anything that come quick, it gonna leave quick. How many of y'all willing to wrestle with God all night like Jacob did until the dawn come for to get your blessing? You got to be pruned. You got to be broke down. That's what God was doing when Jacob was all alone. See, when y'all alone, you get to reflect on things that you have done, things you might have said, things you might have thought that was wrong. That's what isolation do. It make you get it right. It make you take a clear look at yourself for who you are. God, it's like God putting a mirror in your face. A lot of us like to run from that mirror. Some things you got to man up and stand up to. That's the only way God can use you. God don't want nobody that ain't never been through nothing. Just ask Jacob. Jacob went through something. Jacob was a master manipulator. Get over. That's how I feel about him. That's just what I'm gonna call it. But even in the midst of that, God still used. See, that go for the ones who say, oh, I ain't finna play with God. I ain't going to church because I ain't ready. I know I ain't gonna do right. God wants you to come as you are. Because he, in the midst of whatever sin that you might be indulging in, he still can use you if you want to be used. Jacob was a fool. Jacob said, I ain't going to let you go until you bless me. And that's how I feel. I ain't going to let you go until you bless me. If I got to take a broke hip, I still want you to bless me. If I got to go through trials and tribulation, I still want you to bless me. If I got to go through isolation, prosecution, being mocked, long suffering, I still want you to bless me. I'm going to hold on, just as Jacob did. So my name could be changed to Israel. So my offspring could be numerous as the stars in the sky. Somebody got to be the sacrifice. Why not me? Somebody got to be the generation curse breaker. Why not me? Somebody got to be the black sheep. Why not me? Anything worth having, you got to fight up for it. Ask Jacob. Israel. Yeah. I ain't gonna hold y'all up too long. Y'all pray my strength in the Lord, and I'm gonna continue to pray for y'all. Y'all be blessed.